everyone, it's Julia in the G20, and today's video is just a little bit about my job as nomadic crafter, traveling around in a van, making handmade clothing and selling it online on Etsy. My site is called California Patchwork, and you can get there by going to californiapatchwork.etsy.com. So I'm here at Goodwill. Oops. Wait. See? But I'm not actually at the retail store. I'm going over to the wholesale, which is the bins, which is only a certain amount per pound. Ends up coming out to be much cheaper for supplies for my clothing, which is recycled clothing. I already went to another secondhand store and got a few pieces as well. And I just love my van because I can just come in here and I look oily because I just put coconut oil on. I can just come into my van and just relax or go through the clothes I just bought and put them in the laundry bag or whatever. And nobody really knows I'm in here. You know, it's just me in the van. And it's just my private little zone. I love it. If I was in a car, it'd be totally different. A truck, I'd have to go climb in the back. I mean, how crazy is that, right? So today I got some really great skirts for my t-shirt dresses. All of the ones I got today were $1. So I got this like sort of brocade. It's not really brocade, it's rayon, but it has a brocade type pattern. But my favorite is, and I like to get these really bright, funky prints that nobody really wears anymore, but they want to wear it because it's so fun. So I put that with a t-shirt, and it's just, especially a sporty t-shirt, sporty with the girly. Ooh, I love that mix. So I got this, that, I got a blue and green one, and my skirts all have to be large enough to fit on the bottom of a t-shirt, having some kind of flair and movement, not like a straight one. It doesn't really look good because then you have this giant waist. And I want it to be newish quality fabric, excuse me. And I got these two Indonesian print skirts, which are newish. Well, one of them's actually new. One was like worn once or twice. And these are going to be really pretty. Here's the second one. And this one, I believe, is going to go... Oh, so since I got the skirts for $1 each, I allowed myself to buy a t-shirt that was $4, a used t-shirt. Kind of pricey, but look at it. It says Brooklyn 68, and it's got these sporty sleeves. That's going to be so cute as a skirt, and I think the skirt that I'm going to put with it is this one. So this is part of my job, and it's one of the most fun parts of my job, is looking for the clothing and knowing from experience what I need and what I don't. When I first started secondhand shopping for this, I would get, you know, crappy pieces sometimes that were worn under the underarms, or jeans that were just getting ready to have a hole in the back. Now I know to hold the jean up against the light in the store, and you can see when something's about to go, and that way you don't buy jeans that are about to go. But I've learned a lot about how to do this, and it's one of the most fun parts, hunting out in secondhand stores and yard sales sometimes for these secondhand clothing, and then finding deals like for $1. So I'm really excited about what I have, and I'm getting ready to go get a few more pieces. So I called my Edisto motel and talked with the lady there and I reserved a room for 3 nights, the cute little sweet cabin this time, which has all been upgraded and has like a vintage style, like 50s vintage, 60s bathroom style. I mean, the whole place is just super cute. You'll see. And I reserved that for Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. I don't want to miss the Reckoning next week, my dance, because I'm getting ready to leave, and I'm going to miss them a lot. So I don't want to miss that. So I told her I might do Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, 4 days. So I need to call her today about that. But either way, I'm going to be sewing in a motel again soon, and that's why I'm getting supplies now. I have some supplies from before that I bought that I wasn't able to get everything done. So I have those as well. And pretty much my store is empty, and I need stuff for that. And as well, if I get some stuff ready for Bert's Market right before I leave, enough may have sold that she would want to buy some before we end up having to ship it. So that would be good too. There's a little bit of a feeling of not ready to sew yet, but since I have had so many sales, I kind of need to go do it. And I also don't need the break of a hotel room. I'm fine in the van right now. I like to have that break from time to time too, just to shower whenever I want, use a microwave, watch a TV, and sleep in a different bed and have my own private space. So, but this part of my job is super fun. And what else did I want to tell you? I was thinking about calling this place in Myrtle Beach, which was like $125 for a week, but that's so reasonable that I'm afraid that it's, you know, dirty or like broken down or weird circumstances. But I should at least call. The season starts here in the South, like the beach vacation season, May 1st. So then the rents go up. So I might be too late for that anyway. And then the other thing is, I was thinking just go to Widespread Panic on the 4th and 5th, then get the hotel room for 3 or 4 days and sew your butt off, sew my butt off, and I'll really need it by then because I will have danced at 2 concerts and, you know, all the thousands of people around me, and it's going to be an outdoor concert, so it's going to be dusty. It's going to be great. I'm going to go see Widespread Panic, which is one of the real reasons I came down to the South in the first place back in 2000. So it's now 2018. And, you know, I saw Panic pretty hard from 98 through about 2002. And then I began to slow down, but kept going through about 2005. And then I really slowed down, but I still go, well, I went about once or twice a year. And now I saw them in Asheville, and I just, they've changed so much. It's just not what it used to be. And it's hard because you go there wanting what it used to be. Now, that reminds me what I did want to tell you about last night. So last night I was dancing at the Reckoning at the Poorhouse. And of course, I've seen this band a million times. This Wednesday thing means so much to me. It was one of the reasons it was hard to leave Charleston to go up to Asheville in the first place. And I found Grateful Dead stuff up there, but not like down here. So, and it's not just the music, which is unbelievably good, you know, for just some cover band on a free show once a week. I mean, no wonder they're so good. They play all the time. But yeah, Asheville didn't compare. And I was going to say, it's not just the music. It's all the people that I've been going there with every Wednesday for, you know, like a decade. And there's people I've known, you know, been dancing on that same dance floor with for a decade. And there's all different kinds of people there. And there's really very few deadheads like me, like a California deadhead. And it's hard to explain how that's different. Like growing up with it is different than finding it later and realizing how great it is and getting involved. But oh, and it's funny about last night because I was both recognizing what I was just going to say. I have friends there. I have people that I actually know. Like, there's just a familiarity that I'm not used to because I've moved around a lot in my life and I've always been somewhat of a loner. And work for myself a lot, so I'm not with other people. And these are people I see, you know, all the time. And there's a familiarity there I'm not used to that feels really good. So last night was really great. And the other guitarist wasn't there, so the other one filled in, and the bass guy filled in. They were doing so much space. And that's like a Grateful Dead thing where in second set, you know, they do songs, and a lot of times they just get to the point, or they do the whole concert where they just do one song into the next one. They don't stop. It just blends in. And there's a lot of improv in there. And during second set at Grateful Dead, you would have a thing called drum space, or space drums, or space drum space. And space would be where they get really weird and like 60s, like, hey, we're on LSD, we're spacing out with our music here, you know? And they would just take chances and leaps and improv that was unplanned and just see where it was going. And it usually had a spacey component to it. And then, of course, with the drums coming in, like a tribal component. And the Grateful Dead would often have other people come and sit in with them, like tribal people from Africa, like Babatunde Olatunji was one of the guys that used to come. And Mickey Hart himself from the Grateful Dead is very well read, I guess, in very experienced with multiple different cultural types of music and percussive music. So this drum space thing was amazing that they'd used to do, and it was always so spontaneous, and it would be really spacey. And as drums were ending, little by little, the rest of the band would start coming out, and that's when you'd hear it going back into space, like, like, and it would gradually go back to the whole band where they'd usually go right into a song, and we'd all freak out and just love it. Grateful Dead was the best. It's just a remarkable phenomenon that occurred and is still occurring in America that's just like nothing else. And if you can ever taste it in any form, I would do that. So anyway, that was last night, and I just felt so good connecting with people, and especially because I really got my dance on about halfway through second set. It was kind of because it was so spacey, and my body just wants to like go with that naturally. So I sort of get out of my headspace and like, who's that? And is someone watching? And all that stuff. And I just really had a good dance time last night. So the other part of it that was interesting was I recognized more things about other friends of mine by observing and by loving myself enough to recognize it for what it was when someone was saying something to me. For example, so I have this friend, and we've toyed with the idea of getting together off and on for the last 7 years or so, and he was married and he had an open marriage, but I always told him, but I'm not married, but I don't have an open anything. I'm, it's like one-on-one, and so I just realized that he is not actually treating me with respect. It's more than that. It's that I realize that he doesn't see me with respect. He doesn't see me as a person of high value, which is actually painful and shocking to me. But what I would do before as like a victim codependent, or what I could still do now if I want to suffer, is be like, well, what? That's ridiculous, because I like try to defend myself that I'm worthy, and be really mad at the person for not accepting me for that, and be angry at them and almost try and pick a fight. It's sort of like, I want them to know that I know that they don't, it's like, I could like send a text that says, yeah, I can see how much respect you have for me when you said that Walmart thing, and I'll tell you, and I'm not doing that. I'm just observing, but I can't believe that my friend doesn't think very much of me, and I'm just like seeing it over and over and over again. Last night what happened was a really trying things happening for him right now, and he was telling me, we were talking about it, and he just got really, again, it sounds like I have a lot of difficulty with people, but it's just because I'm describing it to you and nobody else will. So he just got really angry. He tends to do this thing where if he doesn't agree with what you say, he completely invalidates your thing as having to be wrong. It can't be that, and I just said, well, that's just my belief. That's how I see it. And so that's why I'm saying that. It's like he's my close friend. Like, we know each other really well. And I would figure the best thing that a friend could do is say what they really think about something, in the best, most loving way possible. And that's what I did. And but it's the same with my friend up in Asheville. You can not feel the same way as someone else, but don't have to totally invalidate their thing. You have to be aware that they might have a different perspective on something, and that's okay. So that happened, and then as we were saying goodnight, I was like, well, I'm going to go home now, which I've been saying lately, and I kind of laughed. I was like, I guess whenever I get home, I'm in the van, whenever I get back to the van, I'm home, but, But so I'm going to go home now, and then I kind of like giggled, and he goes, where, to Walmart? And that could be innocent enough. I said, not necessarily, which was actually defending myself a little bit. But there's the proof in the pudding right there. Apparently, I felt like I needed to defend myself because something hurt about that. And so that's what I'm observing about myself. I'm like, well, okay, so you must feel this way. And I honestly didn't appreciate and felt like by him saying that, he was saying, and he said it like that too. He's like, oh, you're going to go, you mean to Walmart? I was like, I'm going to go home now. He's like, to Walmart? Like it was a bad thing. And not only that it was a bad thing, but that he's like mocking me or like laughing at me for going to Walmart. Like Walmart, it wasn't a good thing. Like I wanted to say to him, do you think I'd be going to Walmart if I felt really crappy about it? Like, I'm okay with this. I'm choosing this. Like, they just don't understand van life. So, last night was very revealing. Another friend, again, a longtime friend from there, who's recently started his van life, tends to say these really narcissistic, undertoned statements that he doesn't realize is a total jab. I don't think he realizes. But I don't understand why he does it. So last night there's this song called Tennessee Jed that they played. And he was like, and when they played the part about the dog, it's woke up a feeling mean, went down to play the slot machine. The wheels turn round and the letters read, let's head back to Tennessee Jed. But that's not the part. It goes about how a guy, he cracked my eye and he kicked my dog. And my doggy turned to me and he said, let's head back to Tennessee Jed. So my friend comes up and he's like, yeah, I like the part about how my dog turned to me and said, let's head back to Tennessee Jed. And I was like, yeah. Oh, I forgot to tell you, when the dog part came up, I started thinking about Pai Mei and I got a little bit sad. So then we went on, I went on with the moment. And like I say, he said he liked that part about the dog. And I was like, yeah, me too. And then he looks at me and he goes, yeah, and that part about how he hit me in my eye and kicked my dog. And he just goes like that to me. And whatever it was, to me, what it felt like was he knows I just lost my dog. It's just so weird, right? There's a weird feeling right here. It's not missing Pai Mei. It's that my friend would say that to me about the dog. About he blacked my eye and he kicked my dog. And then my doggy turned to me. Is he not aware that I just lost my dog? And that maybe I don't want to hear about a dog getting kicked? Why would he emphasize that? Why would he look me straight in the eye and then emphasize that? And then be silent and still look at me? That's weird. So, I don't even have to judge it as weird. All I have to do is be concerned with my own feeling about it. And the way that felt, and I'm analyzing it. Okay, are you just being defensive? Maybe you're looking at this the wrong way. I'm looking at all of that, but I'm looking primarily at how it feels. It doesn't feel right. And like I say, it's not just this time. They tend to do a lot of that. And I'm starting to feel like I don't choose to interact with that energy. Oh, the other thing that happened was 2 nights before this poorhouse thing we just went to, I had texted him before, or I talked with him before, and I said, do you know about this Suwannee festival? I was thinking about going, and I thought maybe he was thinking about going, and we could caravan together, And he was like, no, I don't know about it. And I was like, yeah, Widespread Panic's playing 2 nights. They're headlining both big nights. And he was like, no, I hadn't heard about that. And we just went on dancing. And then I get a text from him. He's on his way back from the festival. He went to it. All I get in the text is, I saw Widespread Panic for 2 nights. Which felt like, didn't I tell you about that festival? And I kind of was wondering if you wanted to go. But you never responded to that. And now you're telling me that you saw my favorite band. And I was like, this is a little... So I was like, it's cool. And I just responded and said, oh, so how'd you enjoy that? And he said nothing. So it makes me feel like he was digging me somehow, not concerned in having a conversation about how great or not great they were. So I ended up talking with him last night about Panic, and he was telling me how he felt about it, and that was cool, and I felt good about it. But after the Panic weird thing and then the dog thing, I'm not judging them so much as I'm observing and choosing what kind of energy I want to be around. And I know some of you are going to say, look, Julia, it's like these are little things. They don't mean anything. They actually all mean stuff. And I don't even have to know what it means. I just have to pay attention to how I'm feeling, because that's what I'm trying to do, is get to know myself, how I'm feeling, so that I'm not out in the world reacting based on old patterns to everything that happens and getting myself in trouble, having a less fulfilled life. So that's what this process is, more than just trying to judge the whole thing. So I hope you understand that. And I'm sharing it with you because it's an awesome process. And I really want to do an additional YouTube channel that's about all this stuff specifically. If you could, let me know in the comments of this video if hearing this sort of stuff about this personal growth process, codependent recovery, is interesting to you in relation to the van life or not. Because maybe I will separate the two, and they'll still be philosophizing and talk about stuff, but that way we can do more van related videos. But I don't want my whole van channel to be about how-to videos about van, how to do this, how to do that, the 6 ways to avoid the police, the 10 reasons it sucks to live in a van, the 5 reasons why dating's difficult. I mean, it's, yes, I get that. That's very interesting. It's very succinct. It's very to the point. Yes, I can do that. But there's also the van life where it's like, this is my experience in the van on a daily basis. This is what I'm doing. This is how I'm feeling. This is what I'm thinking. So why don't you let me know a little bit about, a little feedback about how you guys feel about that, sort of this personal stuff being mixed in with the van stuff. That'd be great. Oh, and on a final note, I hope you enjoyed my spoof videos. I had so much fun making them. I'm sorry about all the boobage. I realized later that, especially a little embarrassing, like maybe too much boobage. But, and I also wanted to say about the third one where I mentioned Mexican people or Mexicans, please don't take that offensively, as I don't even see people as Mexican people. I just see people, and I see beauty. I see beauty in the diversity, and I love it. You can see that I'm not a fully white person, and so I get it. I also I've always been on a low socioeconomic level, and that's another kind of thing that feels similar to racism. I also grew up in California with a diversity of cultures there, including a lot of Mexican people. And I spoke some Spanish when I was younger. We went to Mexico like 1,000,000 times. It's not really a foreign thing to me, actually, being from California. So really, I hope you didn't take offense. And if I start getting a lot of flack for that, I'll just edit that out. It's not important to the story. All of those spoofs that I did were totally on the fly. So, you know, I didn't really think this stuff through. I just was trying to create a personality. And I hope you thought they were funny, because I thought I had a really good time making them, and I'm going to make more. I've got a bunch of different ones that I'm interested in doing for you. So please leave in the comments about that, or perhaps the comments in the videos themselves. I suppose that would be more appropriate. So I'm getting a little hot in the van, so I'm going to head over to the Goodwill. And it's going to be dust central, people. But, ooh, I should wrap up my dreads. Maybe. My dreads are getting longer. Did you notice? Hey, if you've ever wondered about my dreads, I have 2 videos about them. You just have to go back. So if you pull up a YouTube page, someone's channel, and pull up the videos, there's a little thing on the right. You can, is this the right? Well, I guess it'd be that side. You can pull up to sort by, and if you sort by the oldest first, then you get into some of those older videos. You can find the dreadlocks videos, all about my dreadlocks. So that's a whole subject itself. So all right, have a beautiful day. Thanks for watching my videos. I really appreciate my new subscribers, because I'm trying to get to like 2,000 subscribers. How about that for a goal? So I really appreciate you watching my videos. Let me know what you want to see. Let me know what you want to know about van life, or about being a traveling crafter, and or about my sewing stuff, or anything like that, about Charleston, about the beach. Just let me know, and I'd be happy to fill you in. Thanks for watching. Have a beautiful day. Bye. Wow.